Hi guys, it's Heather, and today I'm going to be showing my best friend back home how I do my makeup. And today I'm going to be using the Orange You Glad palette from ColourPop. I'm going to be doing two different looks, one on each eye of different colors in this palette. So let's jump into it. So first, I use this Ulta primer that was like $6, but it works. So we're gonna just dabble that all over our faces.
I don't even have that.
You don't have primer?
But I'll pretend.
So you take it and you put it on your finger and then you put it on your face and then you use a brush to rub it into your skin. And it looks like this. So after we've applied that, which we use, you can use your fingers or you can use a beauty sponge, whatever you choose or prefer to use. The second part of my makeup routine, I personally move on to my eyebrows next. The first thing that I do with my eyebrows is I brush them out with a brush. Do you have an eyebrow brush, Kenz?
I do.
Okay. Now this is when, like, if you needed to tweeze your eyebrows, you would tweeze them, but I don't need to tweeze my eyebrows right now, so.
I don't have anything to tweeze.
Relatable. The next step for me is I use this brow bar. It is this little thing. It has a powder and it has pomade in it. And then it also has this, which is colored eyebrow brush gel to darken your eyebrows, which I try not to use too much of it because it gets too dark real quick. But, you know, just a little bit to add a little bit of color. And then after I put the colored gel in it, I use my NYX Professional Makeup Brow Pencil. I have it in the shade Soft Brown. And I use the brush on that, because that's the brush that I prefer, to brush my eyebrows out once again. I use my NYX pencil to outline my eyebrows very lightly, because I do not want to look like I have Sharpies on my face.
You see, I'm going for Sharpies. Kidding.
And then after I do a soft outline on both of my eyebrows is when I go in with the pomade. The color of the pomade in this palette is a little bit too light for me, but it does have a darker powder in there, and I just mix it into my pomade to make the color a little bit darker so that it's the right shade for my eyebrows. And when you go into pomade, if your pomade doesn't come with one already, you use a angled brush to apply your eyebrow. Well, there's a big argument on whether you should do foundation first or eyebrows and eyeshadow, but I just prefer to do my eyebrows. And first, my next step, I go in with a blending brush and my concealer, which again, I use Ulta Beauty's Youth Glow Concealer.
And where do you put concealer at?
Okay, so the first place that I put concealer, this is where for my eye makeup. I use it as a primer. There is no need to go out and buy an expensive primer for your eyeshadow when you can just use concealer. But the first thing that I do is I outline my brows, because that's where, you know, this is why you don't do the foundation first, because you go in with some concealer and you can make your brows like so sharp.
I'm trying. We're not doing well.
It's okay. You know, you always start out looking like a child has doodled on your face, and then you fix that by blending things. Okay. And then you just I put a dab of it like on my eyes. Okay. And then I personally use a clean blending brush. This one's NYX 16. And the top of the brush looks like this. And then I just go in and blend this all in.
Can I use my beauty blender?
Yeah, that's why I said I use brushes for almost my whole look. I don't use a beauty blender. So then the next thing that I do is I pick my base color for my eyeshadow. But for this look, since I'm doing 2 different looks on each eye, I'm going to use 2 different base colors. So my base color for my left eye, I'm going to use Zested. This very light, almost cream color. I'm going to do that on my left eye. Okay. And for that, since it's my base, I'm going to use a flat brush. Okay. So the first color I'm going to use is Zested, and I am going to use it on my lid on my left side. And I use my natural crease to decide where this color stops. And then for the right side, I'm going to put
foundation on my eye real quick.
This shade, which is called Sunkissed, as my base color. This is much more orange than the other.
Then I'm going to do a really pink color. Is that the base?
Yeah, for the right eye. And then next, I am going to do my crease, and I'm going to use my crease brush, and it's an e.l.f. brush. I'm going to do Rise and Grind, which is that orangey peach color. I'm going to use that on my left crease. Yes. You and me both have what are called hooded eyes, so you don't want to go in the crease. You want to go right above it. You're making a false crease in your eye because you're going to want to cover, like, whatever color you have here, you want as much of it to show as possible. And then for my right eye, I'm going to use Mimosa, which is this color right here. Okay, and then once you have your crease down, you're going to want to blend the base and the crease just a little bit. You don't want to completely blend the colors out, but you want to make the line a little less harsh because the base isn't going to be we're going to do a cut crease. So we're going to cut our crease, which is why you wanted your crease to be a little bit higher than your natural crease.
Not looking like a princess.
Oh, it's okay. I always start out looking like a clown and then I fix it. So.
I don't know. I think mine's beyond saving.
I think it looks pretty, and your colors aren't as drastically different as the colors on my lids.
They're really not. Which makes me feel like I should have just done the same.
Okay, so the next step is where we're going to cut our crease, which I use this brush. It's this flat brush.
So should I use this one?
Yes. And what you are going to do is you're going to take your concealer. And I normally just put it on the top of the lid of my setting powder. And then you're going to follow from the very corner of your inner eye right here till about here on your lid with the concealer. And you're going to follow your natural crease. So you're going to put it into your crease. Like all the way up to your crease. And then about halfway over in your lid, about right here. Do you want to watch me do it before you try it? Okay. So I just get my brush and I get some of the concealer on it. And then we come into the side and we start at the very corner right here.
I can't see your eye. Do you go all the way?
Yes. That's what, all the way to your crease. Like your natural crease.
Do I do it a lot?
Yeah, you try to cover up the color that's under it for the most part. And you only go about halfway. Like on the lid, like over here.
Mine was a little more than halfway.
That's fine. It doesn't really matter. You can blend it. And you do that on both sides. Okay, and then do you have glitters in that palette? For my left eye, I'm going to use Squeeze Me, which is this color right here. And then for my right eye, I'm going to use Tangerine Dreams, which is this color right here.
I think I'm not a makeup person. I look terrible. I accept it.
Kenzie, do you understand how long it took me to get good at makeup? Oh, and for people watching this, it does not take 2 seconds to get good at makeup. The first 50, 60 times you try, you may fail, but, you know, if you enjoy painting your face and playing with the makeup, keep doing it. You will get good at it. Oh, it's like paint. I love this color. Tangerine Dreams are what dreams are made of. Oh, yes. And so the next step that I do after I get the creases done on my eyes is I take my concealer and I draw a line from about the end of my eyebrow straight into my eyelid on each side. It's how I create the sharpness of my shadow. And then I go in with...
Do you fucking see this?
It's fine. Look at mine. You use a brush to, okay, I use this brush. Or you can use your beauty blender. And then you just drag away from the shadow.
Drag away from it?
Yes, like this. Like towards your temple. Next, I use my mascara, and I just use whatever drugstore brand I picked up.
Oh, you do mascara now?
Yeah, yes.
Okay. A question real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Do you put anything in the crease of your eye?
Like the inner corner right here?
Yeah.
Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. You're actually making me feel like I want to. So I'm going to take Clementine.
I was just asking.
No, you're making me feel like I want to. So I'm going to take Clementine, which is this one. So that palette that you were showing me that had the more loose glitter, that's what I would use. This one's called Clementine. And then you're just going to take a dab of it and put it in the corner. And I'm just going to use the same one on both eyes because they're both orange looks. Okay, after we do that, now I take my other flat brush that I have and I take my Kat Von D. It's in light 42 neutral. It's a shade too light for me, so this is what I use as my base for where I'm going to put any highlight. So I put it on my nose, right here, and then I put it under my eyes. And then I put it in my T-zone at the top.
You're funny.
Okay. And then I use it on my Cupid's bow right here. About here. And then right here. And then I use my Tarte face tape in color 8B. It's porcelain beige because I'm the palest person you've ever met.
I think mine is in light neutral.
This is the lightest shade that they carry in stores, and it's too dark for me. Yes. And I place this color any place I would put my contour.
Pale skin's pretty though.
Yeah, until you look like a ghost in photographs. Okay, and then we are going to blend it out. I use this foundation brush that I got from Walmart.
Oh. Do you put lipstick on? Or are you gonna do lipstick?
I usually wear lip gloss. I don't really like lipstick. I really like these colors. I've never used these color combinations. I've used this palette a lot, but I never use like all oranges. I normally use browns and orange together.
Okay, what's next?
Normally it would be my contour stick. Okay, we'll just use powder, whatever. I'm gonna use my contour powder.
I'm gonna use regular powder because contour a little scary for me.
I like to make my nose look like it doesn't exist. I'm probably gonna do one of those videos where you can do a whole face of makeup with like one thing, like foundation. Alrighty, the next thing that I do is I put on highlighter, but I use this. I use this shade. I don't know if you can really see it. It's this white luminescent. It's like so pretty, and it's from the ColourPop palette Blue Moon, but I use it as a highlighter. So I'm just gonna take a brush and take a little bit of it, and then I put a little dot at the end of my nose, and then I put a little on my cheekbones. And then I use my foundation brush to blend it out. And now I'm done with my makeup and I don't know what to do.
You're done?
Yeah. And for my last step, I'm going to put on lip gloss in the shade Living For It by, it's Jeffree Star and Morphe. What does it say? I'm pretty sure this one has pink and purple iridescence in it, but I'm not 100%. It might just be pink, but to me it looks purple-ish too. And Kenzie's out here looking better than me when I'm long toner. Give me your hair. Alright guys, that's the video for today. I hope you enjoyed watching. See you next time.